the best presents always came from Mark. And so, Kathy, I know your grandkids must experience this as well. There's no one in this room that can give better presents than Mark.
That's right, yes. Christmas is big, Mark.
It is. And then the second reason was when I was younger, he would tell me stories about being on the road as a musician in Nashville. And I was probably too young to hear some of the stories, but they stuck. And one of them was he taught me the definition of a maypop. Does anybody in here know what a maypop is? So a maypop is when you get stranded on the road with your bandmates and you pull into a gas station in the middle of the night and you ask if they've got because you had a flat tire, and if they have any new tires, and they say no, but we got some maypops for $10. And a maypop is a tire that you put on and it may pop, or you may make it to where you're going. So he was very charming in that way. But there's two things, another couple things that stick out about Mark. And we all have parents that love us, and that's important. You've got to have your parents love you. But it's important for a kid to have other people in their life that show love to them. And Mark did that all the time, from as early as I can remember until right now. And a couple examples of that is I've been in Austin. I was born in Houston, moved away, came back, been here 17, 18 years. Had 3 houses. Every single one of those houses, Mark has worked on those houses with me. When I bought them, he's like, what are we doing? So let's do a project together. And so it's during that time that he's teaching. He's spending quality time and he's teaching and helping at the same time. And that was really important. Another thing that was super cool is that my dad and Mark were kind of sidekicks. So I would say at least 20% of the time I've spent with my father, Mark has been there with us. Whether it's on the boat, whether it's working on cars, or working on the house, or going to races. Mark was a race fan. We had a great time. And so he really added a lot to my life and made it better. And I celebrate his life. And it's very sad, but I have so many great memories that I'm going to carry those forward and try to push through and live towards the example that he set for us all. So thank you.
Thank you, Johnny.
Love you.
Great guy.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
You gonna do it?
Yeah.
You want to go?
Go ahead, Larry.
Okay. I'm Larry Green. I live by Mark, about Lake Buchanan. And one thing that I hadn't heard anybody talk about is how Mark, you were his dog. Ginger, your puppy.
We hadn't seen pictures of our German Shepherd up
I
here.
mean, he loved
She went
big
everywhere
dogs.
with us.
And that's the one thing that I always remember about Mark is that wherever you were with
He
him,
loved his
you had a
dogs.
good
Yes,
dog.
he did.
And the thing about being good at construction, he always had a project going on. That's what I loved about him, that some things like, that's not my forte, but he was really good at it. I love Mark, gonna miss him, and glad we got to know that y'all were having this party for him, and that's all I got.
Hi, I'm Mark's brother Doug,
Doug.
and what can you say about that guy? But I don't know if you've ever heard his impression of
Microphone.
Sling Blade. His impression is right on the money. So funny. But I want to tell you a little bit about his background. He tells some stories, and first one comes to mind. You probably haven't heard this one. We were starting our criminal career. We were out at the lake in Valeni, lived in Valeni then.
Put the mic up.
And the lake had flooded, and it was closed for a long time. I don't remember which time that was, but anyway, the neighbor, 2 or 3 doors down, had this big dock land in his backyard. And, you know, he wasn't capable of doing anything about that. And Mark and I were building a swim platform. And neither one of us had enough money to buy the styrofoam for it. So I was looking around. I went over to visit this guy, Tip, who owned the house. And there was all the most beautiful and abundant styrofoam you ever need right there on that dock.
Loaded in.
Yeah, so I went home and told Mark, and we came up with the idea we'd sneak over there at night and take that styrofoam. And the more we talked about it, the more we drank beer, the better. That's probably one of the better ideas we ever had. So we did that. We got some chairs, we sat in the backyard, waited for it to get dark, and kept drinking. And finally we went and got some flashlights. And I guess it's probably about 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And the moon was up, so we were real stealthy, or at least as much as we could, because we weren't walking too good as it was. And we both snuck up there, and Doc came into view, and I'll be damned, somebody stole that fire. No styrofoam. I can't remember either one of us had been that mad. Oh, we were mad. But we knew we'd been out criminal. So we just gave up on it. The other story, and I think my favorite story that he tells, is when he was playing the Chitlin circuit.
Yeah.
And that was when
That's
he
the
was living.
blues circuit, right?
Yeah, he was living in Nashville then, and touring with this the Chitlin circuit. And all of these venues were out in the country, old dance halls. Probably like, it looked like green halls. And that's all those poor country folks had to do. And you know, it was close by, was to go and dance, whatever, on the weekend. No air conditioning or anything. So they were up there playing. And Mark they were letting him play a little bit more. He was and so they said, okay, Mark, this is going to be your solo right now. So he got all fired up. He had his back to the audience, and he turned it around and he started playing. And then he really going to wrap it up, you know, and really got on it. And somebody kept saying, "Get down, get down." But what had happened, and Mark was looking all around, yeah, okay. Somebody came in there and started shooting up the place, but they couldn't hear.
Oh, get down.
Well, I gotta tell you that, you know, I think it's so wonderful that he has so many really smart friends. And what a handsome group of people you are. But everything you're saying about my brother is absolutely correct. It is hard to find something wrong with him. And he's pretty patient, you know. It got our lives kind of. I watched over him. I had his back when he was growing up. Now he's kind of got mine. And I moved out here just to be with him. My son Wes and Mark and I all came down with cancer the same month. It was when COVID came, and we all survived, obviously. But Mark had a cancer that didn't have a very good record for being a happy ending. And I don't know if he really knew that or bought that or bought into it, but you know, I was wondering, what would I do if the doctor told me I had 1 week to live? What would I do? What would anybody do? Would you go open up a can of beer, or get in the car, drive around, whatever.
Yeah.
But he did the right thing. He said, I'm gonna wrap up some stuff and I'm gonna do things I wanna do.
He made a list.
I found the list to tell Kathy this. Tell Kathy where the boat keys are. I'm still looking for the keys. Okay? I don't know where you
Well-
put them, Mark, but I'm gonna find them.
At least, you know, my brother, when he loves, he's a passionate
Everything
man.
wrapped up.
And he's very kind and gentle, and he fell for Kathy. He fell hard, and you know he came. Oh man, I met her. That's it. I just kind of. Oh yeah, well, let's see how many. This is probably number 10 that he's never forget. Not really, but
Not really.
yeah. But anyway, he told me, he said, boy, I'm just crazy about this girl. Well, isn't it wonderful that he got to have 5 years from someone who loved like he does? You know, that's the ultimate gift, and we're so appreciative. We love you as a family, and I'm so appreciative that you were there for him. You're the right person. Wonderful. So thanks for
Yes.
coming.
Yes. Brother-in-law. Thank you for talking about it.
Oh, you will.
You guys are all great. Wrap this up. Yep. 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 You got a yep right there.
Yep.
Read all of his too.
He did.
And that guy said he.
We gave him to a guy, Mark had every tool, he had 3 or 4 of lots.
He said,
You know, I mean,
"You'll come get 'em if you have
yeah,
'em."
tons of stuff. And, he said, I don't want you to deal with that stuff, Kathy, that's my garage and my tools and all this stuff. So we found a junk guy that would come take it all away. And the guy came out with his son, very nice gentleman, and he said, man, you got a lot of good stuff here. You know, you can, and he said, I'm not gonna charge you for taking any of this stuff. And Mark said, just take it all. Take everything that you need and can use, because some things are broken, some things need a little repair. Some things I just had 3, 4, 5 different types of tools and things. So yeah, and they took it all away and they cleared out that basement and garage.
He wanted to get it cleared
They
out,
wanted
didn't
it
he?
cleared out, and, yeah, you know, I don't need 5 screwdrivers or any type of anything.
Sometimes it takes a long time to get.
Oh, well, Mark's theory was if he couldn't find it, he'd go buy another one.
So then you found.
Yeah.
Everybody looked at you and found a whole.
Yeah,
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 you
yeah.
had to.
What the hell is